Welcome back to the Embers Archive. Today, we journey to the city of Kanthos, a metropolis built not on land, but on the petrified remains of a colossal, forgotten beast. Here, fortunes are made and lost through a unique and dangerous magic, Mnemo-Forging. Kaelen is not a hero. He's a restorer, a man who makes a living mending the broken memories of the city's elite. In Kanthos, memories aren't just thoughts. They are tangible things stored in polished obsidian spheres. With a touch, Kaelen can enter these spheres, reliving a client's cherished moments to repair the cracks and fades that time inflicts. His hands, stained with the residual silver of countless recalled joys, are the most skilled in the Obsidian quarter. He works with a detached professionalism, a necessary shield. To get too close to a client's past is to risk losing yourself in it. He lived by one rule: never forge. Creating a false memory was a dark art, a violation that could shatter a person's entire reality. The temptation was always there, the immense wealth promised by those desperate to rewrite their history. But Kaelen valued his quiet, ordered life more than any ill-gotten coin. Until she arrived at his workshop on a rain-slicked evening, the scent of wet stone clinging to her cloak. She didn't carry an obsidian sphere. Instead, she brought a request that chilled him to the bone. She wanted him to forge a memory for her, a memory of a love she had never experienced. Kaelen's refusal was immediate. It was illegal, unethical, dangerous. But Alara was persistent. She wasn't seeking a grand, sweeping romance. She wanted something small, something achingly specific. The memory of a quiet afternoon spent reading side by side with a beloved partner. The comfortable silence, the shared warmth, the scent of old paper and tea. He saw then that her eyes, a warm shade of amber, held a profound loneliness. A void he recognized because he saw it in the mirror every morning. She explained that she was a cartographer of the mind, one of the few who could map the labyrinthine pathways of the city's deep. Her work was solitary, isolating her from genuine connection. She didn't want to lie to deceive others, but a sanctuary for herself. A single, perfect memory to hold on to in the quiet hours. Against every instinct, Kaelen found himself agreeing, not for the generous purse she offered, but for the quiet desperation in her voice that echoed his own. This would be his first and only forgery. The process was intimate, unlike anything he had ever done. Forging required a donor. A memory couldn't be created from nothing. It had to be woven from the threads of an existing one. Kaelen had no other choice. He had to use one of his own. He searched his personal collection, a small box of spheres he rarely touched. He found it a quiet afternoon with his late grandmother, books open in your laps, the sun streaming through the window. It was a memory of pure, uncomplicated love. This would be the foundation. They sat in his workshop, the air thick with the hum of the forging lamp. Alara placed her hands over his on the obsidian slate. He had to guide her to build the world of the memory within her mind first. He described the worn armchair, the weight of a heavy book, the taste of honeyed tea. She listened, her focus absolute, her imagination weaving his words into a mental tapestry. Then he entered his own memory. The warmth of his grandmother's study enveloped him. He saw her smile, heard the soft rustle of her turning a page. With immense concentration, he began the delicate work of alteration. He carefully unstitched his grandmother's presence, preserving the feeling of love but detaching it from her image. He then began to weave in the details Alara had given him, shaping a faceless partner, a presence more than a person, from the raw emotion of the original memory. It was like painting on air. He felt Alara's consciousness beside his own, a tentative presence in the space he was creating. A strange thing happened. As he built the memory for her, he felt her own quiet strength, her intellectual curiosity, her deep yearning. Their thoughts brushed against each other within the memories. He felt her wonder as the scent of her favorite jasmine tea replaced his grandmother's herbal blend. He felt her contentment as the light shifted to the amber glow she loved at dusk. In that shared mental space, they weren't just forger and client. They were collaborators, architects of a shared feeling. He wasn't just giving her a memory. She was helping him reshape one of his own. The loneliness he carried, the professional distance he maintained, it all softened in the warmth of their combined creation. When he finally withdrew, the new memory shimmering in a freshly cooled obsidian sphere, they were both breathless. The workshop felt different, charged with a new intimacy. He handed her the sphere. It was warm to the touch, Elara cradled it in her hands as if it were the most precious thing in the world. When she looked up, the void in her eyes was gone, replaced by a trembling gratitude that struck him more deeply than any memory he had ever repaired. She hadn't just received a product, she had shared in its creation. She left his workshop, leaving behind not just a bag of coins, but an unsettling silence. The rule he had lived by was broken, but in breaking it, he had stumbled upon a connection more real than any memory he had ever restored. He looked at his own hands, not seeing the silver stains of other people's pasts, but feeling the lingering warmth of a shared, forged present. For the first time, Kaelen wondered if the most beautiful memories weren't the ones we relive, but the ones we dared to build together. Thank you for joining us at the Embers Archive. If this story sparked your imagination, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more original tales. We'll see you next time.